From doing Stronger, I got in the mentee program for the London International Awards. So it's a mentee program where you actually get to be coached by global people. So you get a short list of 10 and you get 3 of your 10 and they become your coaches. So mine is Josh Rabinovitz. He's in the music industry. You try to choose not in your field so you can learn more broader things. So I luckily got Josh Rabinovitz. He lives in Brooklyn and he's in the music industry, and that after Riky, I've sparked this music thing has sparked in me. I really want to be more involved in music stuff.
Brooklyn, man.
So I've got him in Brooklyn, so we try to work it out time zone wise. Then I got Damon Stapleton, who is an ex-South African, ex-Hunts person.
In Australia or something?
In New Zealand.
Yeah,
in Auckland. And and I got to meet him in Cannes, which was amazing. I never met him before. He is the funniest person ever and the most awarded creative. He did the Zimbabwean, the most awarded campaign at Huntlascaris. It was a print ad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, before my time. And then he's all the awards for it were behind me. And he's I think those are mine. And I was yeah, they are. And then my third coach is Tolga. He is CCO of Ogilvy in Amsterdam. And we have a very good relationship.
You are going places, eh?
Yeah. That's what's so beautiful. The full circle of what this project's done. I mean, not just for me, Irben, our little designer, he's going to Las Vegas thanks to Stronger.
Wait, to work there now?
No, he got also the London International Awards. He also got a mentee program, and mine's a virtual one. His is in Vegas, so he gets to go to Vegas. Stronger opened doors for everyone, and that's what's so beautiful. And he's 23, he's a young
so you go
baby.
tell your peers that taking a shot is worth it, eh?
Yes,
I mean, sitting
it really is. Well, we have to stay in order for our campaigns to be relevant and for people to watch our campaigns and to want to take part and go buy those brands, you have to tap into culture. So we have to keep up with all the trends that are going on, and I think we have to stay honest with who our target audience are, because I think we've gotten into a point where we started.
How does culture influence marketing?
It will always be relevant purely because of the fact that it helps keep you honest. It keeps you at the curve of what is going on.
Marketing needs to move at the speed of culture,
which plays a role in shaping our sense.
Welcome to the Culture Code podcast. In this podcast, we'll be telling stories of how influential culture is in business. You'll hear from some of the African culture curators on how culture can be used to drive good results through marketing and advertising campaigns. Now, here's the host of the Culture Code podcast, Tebogo K.
This is Culture Code. Well, this is the emblem. Well, this is the representation of Culture Code.
Love it.
Yeah. There you are. You are the leader.
Yeah.
You're in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Okay. Cool stuff, man. Yeah. So you want to tell us about who Mikaela is, where you're from?
So born and bred South African Joburg girl. I went to Greenside Design Centre where I studied multimedia design, and then I don't even know how I started in advertising, but I just did. I think my first job ever was actually an intern at TWA. Then I was there for a few months as an intern, and then I went to travel a bit, and then came back and worked at Grid. And then I think my first proper job, not as an intern, was at VML, where I worked a lot on Nando's. That's where I first started winning awards. And then went to Wunderman Thompson for a bit, and then came back home to
TWA.
Yeah.
We don't have that. I think, Callum, you need to have that whole poo, 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 poo. I don't know if we need it though. Yeah, but I think it would just be another. No. Yeah. You know what I was thinking? I was thinking, there's that the bell. That ding.
Yeah. We need a bell.
I like that one. Ding. It's different. The poo thing, everyone is doing it.
Just a little bit. You can just do it yourself.
I can just put it just like
Yeah.
Yeah, when you say something.
No, we don't need sound effects for everything.
No,
do it yourself.
We don't. Yeah. I think just for, because I'm very happy because this time around I'm talking to a young person. It's very rare. It's not rare, but I think we haven't had like a young person on the show, So I'm very happy. And being a woman, you know what I mean? And on Women's Month, I know that we might not fly this in Women's Month. It's already out. So yeah, you want to tell us about your journey, like how you got into TBW. I know you were an intern there first, and then you went around and you came back. Yeah.
So I think basically I was Christian Horsfall. He used to work at VML and he left and went to Canada. And in COVID, him and his wife had a baby, and they decided to move back, and he went straight to TBWA. And he just phoned me, and he was like, "You're coming to TBWA," and I was like, "Okay."
And you knew him before?
I knew of him. We hadn't met properly. Jessica van der Berg, my best friend, she worked at VML with me, and she's now in Amsterdam. So he phoned her and she's like, "Sorry, I'm in Amsterdam, but phone Mikaela Elkon." And he hardly knew me, and he was just like, "You're coming to TBWA," and I was like, "Okay."
Jeez.
And the rest is history.
Yeah,
so
wow.
Then,
you were a lucky bugger there, hey?
Yeah,
Jeez,
and I had my writer, Lyle Martin, and I just went to him and I was like, "We're going to TBWA," and he's like, "Okay."
Okay, yeah.
And so we followed Christian. He actually ended up, he was only there for a year with us, and he left and went to Germany, where he's actually asked me to come join him, but I've politely declined for now.
Okay.
But maybe the life is young, so I might, maybe when this is aired, I'll be in Germany, who knows?
Yeah, look at you.
But you never know.
Jeez. Jessica van der Berg, is she like a Springbok nude girl, something?
She should be. But she's not. She's a roller derby girl. Yeah. I love her to bits. So she's in Amsterdam. Maybe I'll join her in Amsterdam. Who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, so Lyle and I came to Hans and worked under Christian. Then Christian left, and then we started working under Keith Manning. And then from Lyle and I came up with the Stronger Project, which is what's won us all these awards recently. Yeah. And I've been there for the past
Hold the thought
3
with
years.
the young people are not necessarily now coming to the advertising industry space, How easy is it to get into advertising? You said, when I was asking you about how did you get in, you told me how you got a call. So obviously you studied, and then someone knew about you, heard about you and then called you in.
So I think traditionally, if you're studying studying a creative degree or advertising degree, luckily all the industry people do come to your universities and suss you out. I had a exhibition night, and that's how I interned at TWA, because someone came to my exhibition night and then took my portfolio to Kabelo, who was my first, he's the CCO of Ogilvy, he was my first CD ever, and still a great...
Kabelo who?
Kabza.
Mushabalo?
Yes. Kabza was my first CD ever, and he's still very close. We're still very close. Whenever he sees my work, he always reaches out, and we always chat and keep in touch. So he was my first CD, and his, I think maybe one of his juniors found me at my exhibition night, and that's how I got in. But I think that's mostly how we're finding talent, but we're also you don't necessarily need to be creative. It's more about not being, when I say not being creative, you don't necessarily have to be so craft driven or it's all about your ideas and then knowing how to drive them. And I think a lot of people everyone is creative in their own way, and we're trying to find those creatives, not your traditional graphic designers and that. But we have, just at Hunt, one of our greatest designers, Urban Benjamin, he actually was one of our lead designers on the Stronger campaign. I think Carl found him at a jet line. Sure. And he is so talented. So we're finding them everywhere.
He was working at Jetline.
I could be wrong, and Eben, you can come and shout at me if I said this wrong, but I think he's at Jetline. I think he studied with our other designer, Robin Luke, also amazing designer. They all are. We have the best design department. And I think, those are my favorite stories, the ones who come in out of nowhere. He has a design background, but not an advertising background.
Because there's this whole thing that I think a lot of kids, some kids that I've met, they want to come into the industry, but I think they feel like, but I don't come from Vega, I don't come from AAA. How easy is it for me to get into the industry? And so it's quite refreshing for you to be saying that it's not necessarily about. I mean, it means a lot. It means a lot to someone who's sitting there, who's a matriculant, but she or he wants to come into the industry, so that it's not really about.
I think it's like showing us what you have and what's different. So it's like ideas are huge because executing them is easy. It's like bring something to the table that hasn't been seen. Like be the X factor. I mean, Carl Willoughby, our CCO, he's got like call him, like whatever you have to offer, like he's open to looking at what's different, what's new, where can we plug you in, will you fit?
Beautiful. I love that model though, hey? So you guys at TBWA, you are about that whole mentoring and grooming talent.
Absolutely.
I mean, young as you are, because you are a young individual yourself, and I think it's quite refreshing to be hearing a young person talk about how, people might just come on board. I mean,
I think that's not just TBWA. I think that's the industry. I mean, I have so many mentors from my starting that aren't at TBWA, and I still speak to all the time. Like Christian's a great mentor of mine, Theo Ferreira, Clinton Bridgeford, Pete Curry, I think that's what you have to learn is like all these old people that actually do love to teach. They think they don't, but they do. They
don't
love
call them
to
old.
Pass. Older and wiser.
They don't like it when you call them old.
They're not older and wiser.
So what is I think for a young kid sitting at home now watching this, what does art direction entails? What do you do on a day to day when you get to work? What happens there?
So art direction is it's different in advertising than it is if we were on set. So like on set, so when you hear art direction, you probably think like creating the set and everything, but in an advertising, you're kind of the visuals of your writer. So in advertising, you're married to your writer, so having a great relationship with your writer is very important. Like we joke, but it's really like a marriage. Like my writer gets very touchy if he sees me talking to another copywriter. Very, very, and I get very upset if I see him talking to another copywriter. Another art director. It's a full-on like relationship. And then, so as the art director, you're the visuals, they're the writing, and it's really like a combination of coming together. You're the concept team, you're coming up with these ideas, and so you start the birth of something and take it to the execution.
Wow, beautiful. And then tell me about the briefs, man. The briefs that you get. I mean, also, I think what entails, what informs like a good brief?
I think so that briefs are very important to creatives because when we have something clear, it's easier for us to think. We love to know like what exactly you want. We like to know everything. So I think me and my writer, Greg Lavagna, we like the perfect combination because he asks all the questions up front, and I'm the one who'll I'll think of I'll break the rules. So he's like the good cop and I'm the bad cop. So that's a bad analogy, but you get what I mean.
I get what
So he'll make sure we've ticked all the boxes and we've crafted everything, and I'll try break the rules and
break the rules, huh?
I love to break. I'm a rule breaker. I get in trouble a lot.
Oh, okay.
But so I think the best brief to get is the most clear. I hate briefs that say there's an opportunity, because it's like, don't make us find one, tell us what you want and let us take it further. And the best is when the client is open to that. Yeah.
Cool stuff. And then tell me about working under Keith and Carl. How's that like?
So it's Keith and Carl are, we joke, but they are my parents.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Keith's the daddy, Carl's the mommy.
Carl's the mommy?
Carl's the mommy.
Okay.
Because Keith's like the protective dad.
Okay.
He protects me.
Yeah.
And Carl's quite hard on me.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So, and actually, thank goodness he's hard on me, because if he wasn't hard on me, I don't actually think we'd have a stronger project.
Yeah.
It's Carl being hard on me that I executed it.
Yeah.
I'll actually get into the story.
Sure.
So it started, Carl came back, I think it was in 2022. Carl just got back from Cannes, and he didn't do as well as he thought he would. And he was in a very bad mood. We've just come up with the idea of Stronger, and we've had already sold it into Ricky's wife, Bianca. And it took a standstill.
Wait. So you came up with an idea. You sold it to Ricky's wife.
Yes.
And your superiors, your creative directors, they don't know about this.
Oh no, they do.
Oh,
so
okay.
let me
I thought maybe this is now the you breaking the rules thing.
I do break the rules in this project, but not there.
Oh, not there. Okay.
But let me start from the beginning.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start from I'm going to take you through the whole Stronger journey.
Sure.
So like literally, I think on the day Riky had passed, this is such a beautiful story, because it really tells like how ideas are born. Because this idea, we didn't try come up with something to honor Riky. It actually came out of a conversation, and it was there was like a samba in there at the office, because Riky was really important to us. I mean, he worked a lot on MTN. We were always thinking of things to do with him. Like, he was always an influencer that we thought of when we were coming up with campaigns on MTN. And when he passed, it was huge. It was like big news. And so we were just talking about it. It was, it was quite heavy. And we were just sitting on the balcony, me and Marata Lal and our creative director, Mashant Ebasan, were just sitting on the balcony chatting about it. And Lal was like, did you see his last tweet, which was, this land is still my home, I'll return a stronger man. So I was like, no, I didn't. And I take Lal's phone, I don't have Twitter, which is now X, and I'm just like scrolling through, and I'm like, oh my God, this man's so poetic. It's like he's left a song in his words, and and they're like, oh my God, imagine we made a song of this. And I was like, why don't we? And this is where I broke the rules. I'm just like, come, let's go ask Carl. And we barged into Carl's office, no deck, nothing. I'm like, we have this idea, and Carl was like trying to wrap his head around it, and he was like, it can't just be AI. And and we were like brainstorming.
So the whole
office.
When you said that let's recreate it, so you guys were thinking about AI right there.
Well, Carl just, it was all like fresh. So Carl was like, how do we make the song without him? And then so it's all coming up in the room.
Yeah.
And then he was like, it took so many turns, this project. And then it started off, should it just be an MTN campaign? And then that's how we brought Keith in. We went straight to Keith, and they were like, at the time Pete Curry was still Chief Creative Officer, so they were like, you need to sell this to Pete. And Pete was so busy, he's like, I can only talk to you at 5. This was like 10 in the morning, and we were like actually done for the day. We just waited for Pete. We gave him like the line of the idea, and he was like, okay, cool.
And the line was what?
It was just like, we're going to bring back Ricky's words and make a song. And he was like, we have to do this. And he was like, we're going to wait a month to talk to Bianca. So we did, I think. So that was Feb. I think B came into the office in April. And by then, when she came in, we like understood what we were doing. And we presented it to her. And it was very emotional. And she was like, we have to do this. And at the time, it actually, what the idea was then wasn't what it ended up being. We were brainstorming a lot of ideas. We weren't sure about AI then. And Bianca for a long time wasn't sure. And then we also weren't sure we were only going to take bits of his tweets. At the time, we were just using his tweets. Yeah. And then we started to actually, like, became like journalists. We actually, like, know, like, you cannot out Riky me. Yeah. I know everything. I studied all his songs. I went and watched all his interviews. I deep dove through his tweets and his Instagram. And that's how we took, like, the song is word for word his words. We didn't change a tense, anything. And we just weaved them together. So we were going to get a lyricist to write the song, and we're still waiting for him to to give us the song.
Yeah, it was a tough one, though.
It was a tough one.
You guys, what you guys were doing to that guy or that lady was difficult. It was a hard one.
It was a hard brief, and they were battling, and so they never came back. And we took all this, and it wrote itself. We didn't actually have to do anything. We just weaved it together. We partnered up with Nick Greas at Audio Militia. And he brought in Lebo Mashudi, who actually weaved the song for us together. And Lebo actually, it was almost like we were making a movie. Like we all really studied Riky, specifically Lebo. So we battled a lot, because like when it became for the AI, all the AI companies wouldn't work with us. They said, like, if you don't have Riky's consent, we can't do this. So we had to actually set up the Riky Rick Foundation for this to be legitimate. And then the only company that would do this with us without Riky was a company in the Ukraine called Respeecher. So we got them involved, and then so it's so funny, because like the way we did it was so human. So we actually, Lebo, we got him into studio, and he mimicked Riky, but like actually like became Riky, like learned his, like Riky said things like specifically, and he like his hand gestures, and he got in and he learned how to like rap like Riky, and was doing everything. And we gave that to the AI machine so it could learn like the specific ways. And then we took all the stems from Riky's like audio clips, from radios and stuff, and like from his songs, and that fed over Lebo, and then it became the voice became 100% Riky. And at first, Riky's family, when we played it for them the first time, at first it was they weren't sure. They didn't like. We almost cancelled the project. They weren't comfortable at first. So we were originally launching in Feb 2023 on Riky's 1 year, and it wasn't ready. And then 6 months or 5 months later on Youth Month we launched. And thank goodness, because I think what it was then wasn't what it is now. So Riky was pulling the strings. Riky pulled it. Everything that happened was actually all Riky. I mean, his words, I think he wanted the song.
So he really operated.
He really operated. And what's so beautiful is also the beat. We partnered with his longtime collaborators, Ganja Beats. And they first went into Riky's studio and made a beat, and then they gave us 2 beats. So that was the one, and the other one was a old beat that they made with Riky, and we're like, no, and they could never find the song to use that beat for, and we're like, no, this is the beat. And we didn't know that. He told us after. He's like, it's actually a beat we made with Riky. And we're like, everything was just like, so like every little thing like had a touch of Riky. Like when the designers were coming up with the CI for all the artwork and assets, we couldn't choose a color, and we were like, we really wanted, first like red felt right, but for no reason, we just liked red. And then we were like researching, and we heard like yellow's a really good color for mental health, but yellow, it was feeling MTN, it was feeling TWA, yellow, like it wasn't right. We
feeling
just
MTN.
So we used orange, and we were like, oh, but we don't have a meaning for why orange. And then Keith was like, we don't have to have a meaning for everything. Then we showed it to Bianca, and she's like, how did you know orange was Riky's favorite color?
What?
And we didn't.
Jeez.
Yeah. So it just like every time we did something, it gave us goosebumps, because everything Riky operated it. It was Ricky's project, and we just executed it for him.
So how well do you understand mental health? I think that's one thing that I really want to talk about in terms of
That's a good. So what was so great about this was we brought in a clinical psychologist. Her name's Sanam Naran. She's owns Conscious Psychology. And we did not do one thing without her sign off. Like if she told us that this project is wrong, triggering, we would have not done it.
I just want to leave something that people can build on. When I'm gone, my legacy lives on.
Like she went through the lyrics with us. She sat in majority of all the meetings with us with the family. We took her past everything, and she actually even did some videos that are on the foundation's page where she takes parts of the song and explains how his words uplift and are good for mental health. And she gave us all the stats, and she's like till today she's like always tells us like we did the right thing with this campaign, and we really like made sure we were doing the right thing. And what was so great, and that's the best part of the project, is so many people of Ricky's fans reached out after and said how the song has helped them, and that's what we wanted. Like we just really wanted this to be a message of hope.
Hi, my name is Sanam and I'm a counseling psychologist. I think these words by Riky Rick have such an impact because it came from him. He describes life as a gift, and the gift that we give ourselves is to live our life the best we can.
Never forget that we are much stronger when we move together.
There's also a really important message around community and sticking together when things are tough. As Riky Rick put it, we are much stronger when we move together.
I just want to leave something that people can build on. When I'm gone, my legacy lives on.
The most important message that is being communicated through Riky Rick's words are 4 things: hope, resilience, community, and strength. All of which are incredibly, incredibly important in the mental health struggle that we face in South Africa.
But I return stronger.
As a psychologist within South Africa, it is no secret that we still heavily struggle with the stigma that is associated to mental health. This stigma is heavily entrenched in culture and cultural beliefs and cultural practices, specifically with the people of color population.
We didn't just bring his words back to life. We gave mental health a voice.
Wow, nice.
Yeah.
And I know you have a relationship with Bianca, Ricky's wife.
Yes. This is our relationship formed from this project. Bia and I have become very close. We call each other soul sisters.
Okay.
We've developed a very, very beautiful relationship. It's so special. I mean, like, I phone her all the time and like tell her news about my life. We have coffee all the time. She tells me everything. We've still got some projects that we're gonna do together.
All right.
And it was so beautiful that we worked directly together on Stronger. His not just be like Ricky's mother, brothers and friends, everyone was so involved, which was even more special because like we knew everything we were doing is how Riky would have done it.
Riky was a perfectionist, so we had a lot of back and forth in the process to make sure that we built something that he would be proud of.
Once we handed over the audio separates to Respeecher, the company that actually made the AI clone of Riky, they were able to launch the training of the AI model. These we got from different songs and interviews he had done over the years. The result is a track that sounds like Riky literally recorded it himself.
I just want to leave something that people can build on. When I'm gone, my legacy lives on. Nothing is better than seeing the homies win and go far. So get courage to be who you are.
For me, it was surreal. If you closed your eyes, it felt like Riky was in the studio with us.
Ish, but look, this is not the greatest loss in this life. The greatest loss is what dies inside while we alive. That's why I really want you to remember that you have to take care of the people that are close to you.
They kept us honest in that way, because they knew like something small like the word courage on the song, like he says something courage, and they were like, Riky doesn't pronounce it that way, and we kept sending the word courage back and forth to the Ukraine till it came back. And then and so that was special. And then like B is very, very, very dear to me.
Your soul sister.
My soul sister. I love her very much. And I think of this whole project is one of the most special thing, the best thing that happened is that I got this relationship with Bianca.
Yeah, beautiful, man. Sure.
Yeah.
You got a sister, you got awards.
Yeah.
You got recognition, you got everything.
Yeah, we're a team. We're a team.
You're a team. Yeah, of course. I'm not. Be closing anyone out.
Yeah.
Let's be.
But a lot. I mean, that's what Riky was about. He always wanted to help the youth.
100. Yeah.
And I feel like it's such an honor that I'm like. I said to B, it felt cheesy, but I said it to B. I was like, I feel like Riky chose me to do this, because like I'm not the biggest hip hop fan, and she was like, it had to be you.
Yeah.
And that like
have
meant
you met him?
Everything. I hadn't met him. No. Yeah. I feel like I have. I don't know why I have this connection to Riky. I can't explain it. Yeah. It's weird.
Yeah. No, you've no now. I understand what you mean. You've done a lot of Riky this, Riky that. So at some point you start now feeling like, no, I know this guy.
I know this guy.
Yeah.
And it's so nice. Having developed such a beautiful relationship with Bianca, I get to learn so much about him through her. So it's not like I don't know him in like just a hip hop artist. I know him from her, and I'm so honored that she's let me learn him that way. Yeah. And it's really beautiful.
Yeah. Okay. So the campaign obviously won numerous awards, right? And it contributed to the success of a lot of. It put you on, and I'm not saying it put you on, it put a whole lot of people on. I think even a lot of people who didn't really understand what advertising is all about, they kind of now like, okay, wow, okay, TBW. Because when I hear people on the streets like, yeah, man, I think apparently this thing was put together by an advertising agency with the AI company. So it's really, the campaign really shined a light on a lot of people, like on the industry. So what's your take on that? How do you feel about that?
I think that's what's so amazing, specifically about TBWA, because we're not just an ad company. Like, I think if I had to, I'm not dissing any other ad agency, but I think if I had to come up with this idea somewhere else, I don't think it would have got made. Where TBWA, it's not just Carl and Keith, the creatives, but like Karabo Denelani, our CEO, and Luca, the group CEO.
He's a creative? Karabo's a creative?
No. CEO.
No, I'm just saying, like,
they're not creatives, but
they're not creative people, but yeah.
But they are. They understood. They're supporters.
No, I'm kidding, man. Karabo, you are a creative, brother.
Don't tell him that, because now he's gonna come and get involved in our projects. His creative input.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
Yeah.
So like, they have such support like from the non-creatives in the building, and if it wasn't for that, the project wouldn't get made. And it's just so nice that you can do something so beautiful at an ad agency, because this wasn't just a campaign. I mean, we made a song and we did something so beautiful, and I think that like we got such help from like global TBWA like pulled in, everyone pulled in, and it was like also just like we literally Hans funded the whole project, and we literally like whatever we needed, we just said, please can you help us do this for Riky, not saying what the project was, and everyone got involved. Like for the listening party, we needed a venue, we went to artistry, we just said it's for Riky, and Jay was like, say no more.
Cool stuff. I think let's wrap Riky now.
Yeah.
Let's talk more about you now.
Okay.
Riky is too much now. Yeah. It's operated. But I think I want to ask you one last question. I think about the foundation, because you guys have started the foundation with the family and friends and whoever. Right?
Yeah.
And I think looking at the foundation, there's a lot that can come out of that foundation. I think in terms of like I don't know, whatever. I mean, you were saying earlier on that you are working with B on some other things. Are those, whatever this that you are working on, is it with the foundation, or is this your own?
There's numerous projects coming up. Under the foundation, under Cotton Fest, there's lots of things still to come. It wasn't a one-hit wonder. We formed a good relationship with B, and she trusts us, and she's really like happy to do more work with us, which is really cool for Hans, because like really like being part of Cotton Fest, like it's really playing in culture.
There you go. You go. Beautiful. So this guy really did multiply, hey?
He did.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, cool, man. Yeah, I think let's move on. Let's move on from Riky.
Sorry, Riky.
What do you think is significant right now in the culture space?
So I luckily just got back from Cannes Lion Creator Festival. I got to attend this year. And one of the main themes that came out from all the work was actually humor. Humor's come back, because that from COVID like sunk a little. All the projects were all like emotive pieces. And what's come back and what's winning is humor. Like people want to laugh again. And I think that's a trend, and that's something that we need to bring back. Like we want funny, we want to laugh. So that's I think the key trend at the moment.
And how easy is it to come up with these funny, humorous spots?
Coming up with them is easy. Selling them in is the hard part. Is this now the client bit? Yes. So I think it's scary. It's your brand. So clients can, they can be a little bit nervous. So when you sell the funny, it's hard. So we're lucky we do have City Lodge, and they let us be funny.
You worked on City Lodge, eh?
I have some coming up, but I haven't worked on the latest stuff. That one, Bedtime Stories. I mean, that was amazing. That was hilarious. And it was such a good team who did that stuff. So we have very funny people in the agency. We all just laugh all day. So coming up with it isn't hard. It's just getting clients to go with it.
And then are you part of are you part of like the
funny club?
Selling. No, I'm just saying selling.
I can crack a joke.
You can crack a joke?
Yeah, I can crack a joke. But so the selling, we luckily we all get to, whatever work we make, we get to sell it ourselves, which is really awesome.
Which is really awesome,
that's what I love about Hans. No one takes your work from you. You get to go and sell it.
Because how you
I mean, I think the people who come up with it are the people who are going to sell it in. It's hard to talk other people's work. So we do get that. I mean, we have like great leaders. So like if you're feeling a bit nervous and you don't want to present, I mean, Keith Manning is like, I think, the best presenter of all time. I'll buy anything Keith wants to sell. So if I'm ever feeling shy, I do lean on Keith a little, but he doesn't let me do that anymore.
He goes home with it.
No, he says I have to be a big girl.
You have to. Especially after this. Now everybody's like, yo, okay. And what's coming here is that, are you getting bag now? Are you getting a bag now after Stronger? Are you getting a bigger bag, or what's happening? How does it work? I mean, if you've done a campaign, like a huge campaign, and there's too much buzz around with the campaign, do you get that recognition? Like, does Carl and Keith say, yo, I think she needs a raise? How does it work?
Well, I haven't gotten a raise, but no, I did. So much has happened for me from Stronger. Honestly, I did get to go to. I won my way to Cannes, because we have a point system at Hunt, and if you win so many awards, you get to go to Cannes. So technically, I should go twice, because I won double.
You won
they're
double.
T's and C's, so I'm only going once. And then I did get so much more than that. From doing Stronger, I got in the mentee program for the London International Awards. So it's a mentee program where you actually get to be coached by global people. So you get a short list of 10 and you get 3 of your 10 and they become your coaches. So mine is Josh Rabinovitz. He's in the music industry. You try to choose not in your field so you can learn more broader things. So I luckily got Josh Rabinovitz. He lives in Brooklyn and he's in the music industry, and that after Riky, like I've sparked this music thing has sparked in me. I really want to be more involved in music stuff.
Brooklyn, man.
So I've got him in Brooklyn, so we try to work it out time zone wise. Then I got Damon Stapleton, who is an ex-South African, ex-Hunts person.
In Australia or something?
In New Zealand.
Yeah,
in Auckland, and he's and I got to meet him in Cannes, which was amazing. I never met him before. He is the funniest person ever and the most awarded creative. He did the Zimbabwean, the biggest, most awarded campaign at Huntlascaris.
This is the story of a $1 trillion campaign and how we turned money into a medium. Zimbabwe has been destroyed by the Mugabe regime. And if a journalist mentions any of this, they are beaten and driven into exile, which is exactly what happened to our client, a newspaper called the Zimbabwean.
They will get arrested and get bashed by the police.
But intimidating the Zimbabwean was not enough for the Mugabe regime. They declared the paper a luxury and put a tax on it in foreign currency that makes it unaffordable for the average, impoverished Zimbabwean. This is a dictatorship that stays in power by printing money and crushing freedom of speech. To get the paper into Zimbabwean hands, it needs to be subsidized, and our client can only do that by raising awareness and driving sales outside Zimbabwe. So we developed a unique solution. One of the most eloquent symbols of Zimbabwe's collapse is the Zim $1 trillion note, a symptom of their world record inflation. This banknote and the dizzying escalation of notes that preceded it cannot buy anything, not even a loaf of bread, and certainly not any advertising. But it can become the advertising. We took this useless currency, cheaper than paper, and printed our messages all over it. The money became the media. In rush hour traffic, millions and billions were given out, one note at a time, at Johannesburg's busiest intersections. We handed out money at shopping malls, universities, and street corners. We even sent bundles of cash to captains of industry, politicians, and media personalities.
$100 trillion. Look at this, my buddy, just tell us if this is real.
Wherever the Zimbabwean was sold, we put up posters made of real money. At every public place we could, we had a poster with notes that people could detach to keep the web address and show their friends. We took thousands of banknotes and made murals on city streets with $1 trillion wallpaper. We even made the world's first billboards out of real money. Overnight, trillions of dollars of Zimbabwean notes achieved what they'd never been able to buy: real and meaningful advertising coverage. Within hours, we were in the national press. And a couple of days later, the campaign was on national television and radio. And then the internet discovered it, and it spread across the world. Soon we were on the New York Times site, Yahoo News, the Huffington Post, and hundreds of websites and blogs. As the campaign continues, sales of the Zimbabwean continue to soar. In the week of the rollout alone, the website logged over 2 million hits. More copies of the Zimbabwean than ever are crossing the border into Zimbabwe. We use Mugabe's own creation against him.
It was a print ad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, before my time.
Yeah.
And then he's like, all the awards for it were behind me. And he's like, I think those are mine. And I was like, yeah, they are.
Yeah.
And then my third coach is Tolga. He is CCO of Ogilvy in Amsterdam. And we have a very good relationship.
You are going places, eh?
Yeah.
I think just the whole Brooklyn thing. I think you can end up at a Chai a day.
I could.
All right.
Or maybe.
Yeah, you
we'll
must
see.
say. I mean, come on. New York is. Look, I love New York.
Yeah. I actually have my heart set on Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amsterdam. Yeah, Amsterdam is cool.
Yeah, I love Amsterdam's my favorite city. Yeah, so I've got maybe.
Yeah.
You never know.
So how does it work? So now you are a mentee at what?
The LIA coach. So it's the London International Awards, and then they have this coaching academy. So I'm a mentee in that, and I got chosen for it from the Stronger Project. And so I get to. I think I have like a session once a month with each coach, and I'm learning different things from each one of them.
Sure, beautiful, man.
So
how many coaches are there?
There's so many. I get 3, so those are my 3. So you give a short list of 10 and they choose for you. So of my short list, those are my 3, and they are the coolest guys I've ever met.
So what happens there? What are you? So they coach you on what? Because one guy is what, music.
So I've learned a lot from Josh in music stuff. Is like. So like my whole thing was like, I'm not musical, and he's like, everyone. He literally was like, Clive Davis was a lawyer, and look at him. So he was like, you can't, like, that's no excuse. And I think that's the one thing about, the coolest thing about music is that's the one thing that everybody can speak about, relate to. It's a universal language. So he just said, he was like, that's where like, in advertising where we need to play more. So I'm learning a lot from him from that. Like tracks speak so much, like in movies and ads, the tracks are what give you the feeling. So like if you can get the track right, your ad comes together. It's all about the track.
Because the emotions and
So I'm learning a lot from him. And then Damon just is a legend.
Damon is
He's legendary. So to have him as your coach, and he is so funny. I've never laughed so much. And then Tolga's teaching me a lot about Tolga. He's in Amsterdam. He's coaching me like how to like. He's asked me like the hard questions, like, do I want to stay in South Africa? Where do I want to go? Like, and I was like, I've always wanted to go to Amsterdam. And he's like, why haven't you done anything about it? And I was like, good question.
Why haven't you done anything about it?
I think I was always just, I mean, not to keep talking about Stronger, but Stronger was a 2-year thing. So I just wanted to finish that, and now I'm going to do something about it.
Sure. Beautiful.
Sure,
okay.
So maybe I'll be in Amsterdam when this airs, who knows?
Are there talks there of you going to Amsterdam?
We're talking about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Carl, so this isn't a shock to anyone. We are talking about it.
Oh, lovely. Oh, you go do your thing, man. Yeah, sure.
And that's what's so beautiful. Like the full circle of what this project's done. I mean, not just for me, like Eben, our little designer, he's going to Las Vegas thanks to Stronger.
Wait, to work there now?
No, he got also the London International Awards. He also got a mentee program, and mine's a virtual one. His is in Vegas, so he gets to go to Vegas. Like Stronger opened doors for everyone, and that's what's so beautiful. And he's like 23, like he's a young
So you go
baby.
tell your peers that taking a shot is worth it, eh?
Yes,
I mean,
it really
from sitting in the balcony, standing in the balcony with your copywriter and saying, "Hey, man, let's do something."
But I
2 years. What is now? It's been what, 2 years, 3 years?
It was
3 years later.
2 years. 2 years later. 2 years. Like less than 2 years. But we'll call it 2 years.
With all of these achievements now.
I think that's where creativity sparks. Like creatives can't be isolated. It actually, like, I think most people will tell you their like most awarded and best ideas came from a conversation. And that's how it comes, and that's why like a studio environment is so important. Like maybe like crafting and doing that in isolation is fine, but like creatives need to be together. Like just a joke is where like the ideas come from. Like that's where I also find inspiration, is talking with people. That's why like all these mentors that I have, that I've gotten from my past jobs and now I've gotten now from globally, they have sparked so much inspiration in me just talking to them and learning from them. Like all of them are like the best of the best. They're the most awarded, and I've learned so much from all of them. Like just when I have like a simple conversation with Keith, we come up with like 1,000. We like probably have a book of ideas.
Yeah. You seem to work a lot with Keith. Keith is your boss, hey?
Keith is my boss.
Yeah, but he's like your
dad.
It's like your. It's like
we're opening Manning Elkon.
Okay.
In our dreams, maybe. Yeah. The company exists. We just don't have any clients.
What? No, put it to the universe.
Yeah,
man,
we're manifesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Keith's my homie. He's my favorite.
Keith is your homie right there. Wow. Okay. So, how do you think culture has influenced marketing in this day and age, and technology as well? Because you just worked now on worked with AI and all that. How do you think culture has actually influenced marketing and advertising? Well, we're talking advertising here.
Well, we have to stay, in order for our campaigns to be relevant and for people to watch our campaigns and to like want to take part and go buy those brands, you have to tap into culture. So we have to keep up with all the trends that are going on, and I think we have to stay honest with like who our target audience are, because I think we've gotten into a point where we started. This actually came when I was in Cannes. We went to Chrissy Teigen's talk, her and John Legend, because she has a lot of brands, and she actually said something so interesting. Like everyone's chasing Gen Zs and are trying to be on trend with them, and you're forgetting like millennials are so much part of culture as well. And she's like, that's my target audience. I'm not bothering with Gen Zs because they're not going to buy my products. So it's first like realizing who you're targeting and where you tap in, but their culture. Because like each generation has different cultures. So it's like it's first your target audience, and then like tapping into.
So how do you keep relevant? How do you keep in tune with culture on a personal level yourself? What do? You go to clubs, top of the roof, and what? How do you?
No, I'm not on the streets these days. Personally, I think I just I think social media, which I've actually just recently taken a break from, but that's where I get most of my insights and learnings from. And I think it's just keeping up to date with like what people are talking about, what's trending. I think to keep up with culture, you have to keep up with trends. And which is really hard, because like what's trending today isn't trending tomorrow. But I think also like in South Africa there's such a diversity of culture, which is really interesting. But I think what I find, and some people might think I'm wrong, is like music is like the most thing that is easy that is in culture that everybody relates to. So I think it's like that. I try to tap into that.
My piano. Have you tapped into that?
Ilanga, we got to work on Ricky's single, and that was I'm a piano track, so that was pretty cool. So I try to tap into more, and like fashion has become like a huge culture and art. I'm very into graffiti these days. Like I'm obsessed with Samurai Farai. He's a graffiti artist. He's like properly tapping into culture. And so I just try like learn from other people's what they're working on and where they can tap into our brands. Like we want to bring in so much like young artists into our brands, like merge them.
And then the dance challenges, Man's in Day, all of those.
Personally not.
You got 3 left feet.
I have 4. So personally wasn't gifted with the dance genes. But 4 left feet. No, seriously.
So what do you dance? Cha-cha-cha.
I'm the awkward person who just sings to the song.
So you don't move at all?
No, I like physically it's actually embarrassing. Cannot.
Even after shots?
There's a little movement after a shot or two, but yeah.
I would rather see that. Eh?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of dance challenges. I saw something with Beyonce bucket. She was like bucket.
Yeah, there's those are crazy on TikTok, the dance challenges, and they do so well. That's also where like music comes in, like Tyler's Water Song.
Yeah, it was huge.
Yeah, and that's what we're trying. That's what I feel like what we needed like tap into more. It's like what's like music and dances is what we can like tap into and bring in.
Yeah. Sure.
It always comes down to music because the dance challenges come from music.
Right.
Yeah.
And the biggest challenges on TikTok are literally from music.
That's the thing. Like music is the like start of everything.
Do you think South Africans because like I've had a lot of chats with different people from different walks of life, and I was talking about how I nearly got hammered. I said South Africans are the most creative people on the planet.
I have to agree with you.
And I got hammered.
But I feel like we can prove it because so many of our ex-South Africans have moved overseas and they're the ones doing the cool things, like just at Cannes. I think like 3 or more, like so many of the ex-South Africans won the biggest campaign. Like Monique Kaplan, she lives in Chicago now and she took home I think 2 Grand Prix at Cannes. I think we are like really hardworking, and I think that's where it comes from. I think we like South Africans want it more. Where it's easier in Europe and America because they have those budgets, they have those clients. We don't have that, so we're more hungry.
Yeah.
Where I think like we want it more.
Yeah. Sure. So. Do we also is it so more budgets, more time? Is time an factor?
Yeah, we get no time, so we manage to do everything. I don't want our clients to know this, but we manage to do it. Like we get no time, and we manage to pull it through, which is amazing. It amazes us all every single time. With no time, we do it. But we don't have like if you look at like the Super Bowl budgets, we don't get that.
No.
So
not a chance.
Not a chance.
Yeah.
So we do, so that is where we're lacking. We don't have those budgets, and we also like our clients aren't as brave. We're more they're nervous. I don't like we used to be braver. It's scarier now.
Yeah. But why though? Why are clients never? Why are they scared? What's happening? Did you scare them?
Yeah. We're scary. I think it's like a lot of things. I think like the economical climate that we're at, the priority is sales. And if we have to really look at that. We're not just doing brand campaigns, that we can solve something. So I think if we can bring something to one of our clients that is funny and or however we want to sell it, like the Brave thing, but it will sell, they'll buy it. But if it's like, but they're scared to do it. Because like they just, there's a lot of pressure at the moment.
Did you guys take your clients to Cannes this year? Do you get to invite them? Do agency get to invite these guys to Cannes?
Oh, that's a Carl question.
To be exposed? No, but what do you think? Do you think it's worth a while to take these guys?
Absolutely. Clients definitely were there, and when we came back, Creative Circle did like a download on Cannes.
Yes, I saw that.
Yes,
I couldn't attend. I was in the new.
Well, the clients were invited to that, and that was awesome because. They spoke about all the insights and all the judges. A lot of South Africans judged this year, which was really cool. And they spoke about like what was the global work and the scale and what we're not doing. And like Keith actually outright said in front of our clients, he's like, those clients are supporting. Like he referenced the Super Bowl ad DoorDash.
Enter this promo code here for a chance to win stuff from all of the ads. DoorDash-all-the-ads-2024-promo code. Dash. DoorDash can DoorDash pretty much anything. Dash a new Kia EV9, dash peanut butter M&Ms, dash Dinamita, dash Mountain Dew Baja Blast, dash BMW i5, dash Popeye's Chicken, dash YouTube TV, dash Oreo, dash Dove, dash Live, dash Love, dash... I am not going to read all of this. It's a very long promo code. Just enter it at this website. Oh, and there's more.
So I don't know if you've seen that.
DoorDash, no.
So it was a DoorDash ad for the Super Bowl, and if you, they were like so many different brands that tagged into that, and if you could go on the Super Bowl and find each of the brands that are on DoorDash and get the code, you could get all of those things.
Okay,
so
we'll check it
that
out.
client literally supported that idea by phoning all the different brands. So he didn't give feedback, he supported the idea. And I think we need to work more together, like internally, like in our agency, we work so well internally. Like creative wouldn't do well without client service. It's a full, and the same way we need to be like one team with our clients, which we're getting there.
Yeah.
We really are. And then I think once there's like a strong relationship. I mean, we have it with majority of our brands.
Yeah.
I just think we just need to get a little bit. I mean, John Hunt, he was like, we're the Brave agency, and we need to just push it more with our work, and we're going.
I think TBWA is very.
But to quote Carl, we can do better, and we are doing better. We're pushing it more. I think after this run, nothing won from South Africa aside from Riky, nothing won. And it's quite sad. It was quite disappointing that we weren't up there. And I think we want to go up there. I mean, like the South Americans, they will stab you in the back to win. So I think like they just there to win, and their work's amazing. It speaks for itself. And I think we need to work together more as an industry. And so we can,
as opposed to as like silos. But I mean, how do you then do it? How do you do it?
I think.
Sorry guys, sorry to kill.
We got 5.
We've just got to wrap up in 3 to 5.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I think I don't know. I think that's something we just got to like. I think it's like more. There needs to just be more of like a closeness of the industry, that we're supporting each other more.
But I mean, it's different camps. Like, how do you do it?
It is.
Yeah.
Yet they are. They all supporting each other.
Each other, even though they. Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we just need to tap into that.
Yeah. That's a hard one. I would love to see that one, panning out.
Same. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. Jeez. And then John Hunt is he in the building? Do you see him?
Absolutely in the building, and he's very much there.
That's like your grandfather, hey?
Yeah. John's the best.
Yeah.
He's so humble. He's so like I can talk to him all day.
Yeah.
Everything he says is relevant. He's still on it.
Yeah.
I mean, when you present something to him and he doesn't like it, he's so politely to decline your idea. It's like disappointing your dad.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah.
Like that. You can do better, like that disappointing your dad feeling.
Yeah.
That's what it's like. But he's very much in the building, and it's amazing.
I don't see him online. Like, is he on LinkedIn? Is he not? Where?
He doesn't need to be.
I know.
Yeah,
I suppose. But
he's
we want to tag him,
Yeah, well, he is on Instagram, I think.
Oh.
I'm not sure about LinkedIn, but he is on Instagram.
No, he's not on LinkedIn because I tried to.
Oh, you tried? Yeah, we'll tag him on Insta. He's on Instagram, but he's very much involved. I mean, we take all our ideas to John first before we take them to client, and John actually like helps. Like everything he says, like whatever's like that one thing that's missing that you're not sure that's missing, John's just like oh. Obviously, that's why you're John.
Yeah. What have I mean? Do you sit with him? Do you chat?
Personally, I haven't. I don't sit with him often. I would love to. He's very open to it.
Yeah, you're telling me he knows all of you guys.
Yeah, he really does. I mean, we had he made a joke. Like we had new people move into the building, so it was like reshuffling of like who's gonna sit where.
Yeah.
And John was just like, you can have my office and I'll sit with you guys. And we're like, yeah. I was like, we actually need a copywriter.
Yeah. Hey?
So yeah, no, he's awesome. And he's always like, we have a Wednesday, we have the 9 a.m. club, which is where we look at different creative work just to keep the juices flowing and take us step out of our desks, and John's at all of them. And speaks after all of them and like leaves us leaving inspired.
Shoot, beautiful, man. Sure, I don't know, I mean, would you wanna go in something that I didn't ask you?
I think we touched on everything. I don't know if it was like a little messy, but
Nah, well, don't worry, we'll get it right.
I'm probably like Pepe and we'll have to come reshoot.
So what do you think of the podcast? What do you think of this what we are trying to do here?
Yeah, I think it's absolutely,
is it landing?
Yeah, definitely landing. I think it's so awesome. I think it's needed. It's something that's missing. Like there's not enough talk in the industry and not enough creatives like learning from each other. I think it's really cool to bring on more like younger people.
Please. Please tell them to come on the platform.
Love
I mean, we've reached out to a lot of young people to come on the platform. I don't know whether they don't respond.
Oh well,
particularly young women, ladies.
I think it's so cool because you get to learn. Like this is the kind of thing that needs to be spoken about. Like you learn from hearing other people's stories of how they made something. Like that's why I love like the making of like those documentaries, like how that song was made, how that movie was made. So it's nice to tap into other people's insights, and that's how, you know, we'll all be on Cant in like the global awards together, because we'll start being an industry again. We need more industry things.
Industry stories, man. I mean, let's hear your story. I mean, you just came here, you told us your story, how you started, how the whole thing, you know, how now even at the end you got so many accolades, doing well. You know, got so many mentors. You know.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting. I don't think a lot of South Africans, a lot of juniors know to like speak to their bosses and ask their bosses to be their mentors. Like they're there to do that. Like and they love it. Like, and not even like Keith doesn't mentor me. I just watch him. And Carl doesn't mentor me. I just watch him. And then George Lowe, I don't work a lot with George, but when I get to, I just watch him and I learn, because George is amazing. He's like one of the best writers ever. And I just watch them present, and I watch how they sell to client. And I take that on, and I think you got to learn, like learn more from them than try to impress them. Like take what you can from them, because I mean they're not there. They didn't get there for nothing. Like when John speaks, I take it all in. And I think I'm like I've become a mold of each of these mentors.
Jeez, man. Cool stuff, man. And you're working with the best. I mean, Carl just got awarded the best creative at the Bookmarks.
Exactly. Carl. I have the best leaders.
Mikaela, thank you very much for hanging out with us. Really appreciate it. Big high five to you, man.
Thank you.
You are doing the things.
Yeah.
You keep doing the things. Ladies and gents, thank you very much for hanging out with us. This is it from you heard it from Mikaela. She's a young lady who's doing the things out at TBWA for the industry. So peace.
The stories are being told by the culture. Culturally, how people think is slowly dictating what the advertisers want to move towards. The thing is to catch up, but what you find is that marketers who need to implement the speed are backwards themselves. Marketers who are not forward thinkers. We need brave marketing or marketers that can influence culture.